Listen, I know what I said. I said I wasn't gonna do an NBA playoff bracket until it was final. But then I realized, the 8 seed, is it really that important? Like, I don't see any of these teams making a Miami Heat 2023 type run. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it, get it over with. I really haven't thought about these series too much, but I'm going to now. So let's just get straight to it. This is pretty clear and simple. The Thunder are going to beat whoever wins this series, probably in 4. Let's just be real with each other. Now, Lakers Rockets. This is really dependent on Luka's health. 65% of people picking the Rockets. When is Luka coming back? Is my question. There was no update on Luka. JJ Redick most recent thing he says is out indefinitely on Luka and Austin Reeves. So chances are they ain't gonna play in game 1. So if they don't play in game 1, what does that mean for the rest of the series? Now, the Rockets, we can sit up here and talk all day about all the things that are wrong with that team. But you take all that away, they're still one of the best teams in the West. They're still a threat to be in the conference finals, in my opinion. Like, KD's been doing his thing this season, just doing, typical Durant things. Şengün was an all-star. Amen Thompson, both ends of the one, more so on the defensive end, but he does his job on offense. He's athletic, gets rebounds, can't shoot. That's my concern with the Rockets is how are they going to close games? Because defenses are going to know exactly who the ball is going to. They're going to just blitz KD, and they're going to leave Amen Thompson open. So it's up to everybody else on that team. It's Reed Shepherd is going to be super important in these playoffs. He's going to need to play these late minutes because if somebody not named Kevin Durant is going to have to hit a clutch 3, it's going to be him. Fred VanVleet would be such a help right now. It's hard for me to predict this series just because of Luka and Austin Reeves' health. But if they come back by like game 3, because I trust LeBron to win 1 out of 2 games against this Rockets team on his own. Even though he's 41, he could still do it. I believe that. So if Luka and Reeves come back by like game 3 or 4, and even if the Lakers are down 2-1, if they get 1 out of those first 3 games with Luka and Reeves out, I think they can still win the series. Because the Lakers have had the Rockets number this season. I'm going to go with the Lakers to win the series. I'm going to go with Lakers in 6. I think that Austin Reeves and Luka, maybe not Reeves, but Luka, will be back by either game 3 or 4. And that's going to help them win that series. Nuggets Wolves. Oh, man. Man, this series in round 2 a couple years ago was absolute cinema. And I'm so glad we get this series again. The Nuggets, this is a tale of really 2 opposite teams because the Timberwolves, defensively, top tier. And offensively, still good, but could be better. Whereas the Nuggets, defensively, worst team in the league. Offensively, probably the best team in the league. They have the best player in the world, along with Jamal Murray, who has played his best basketball of his career this season, along with Aaron Gordon, who's played his best basketball this season, Peyton Watson, who's played his best basketball this season. Offensively, the Nuggets just have it all. Minnesota, they've got Ant, and they've got Rudy defensively. Julius Randle, you don't really know what you're going to get out of him a lot of times. And, of course, Naz Reid off the bench, DiVincenzo off the bench. Jaden McDaniels is going to do his thing. I'm not sure about the injury report. I think both teams are fully healthy. I think this series could go 7, and I honestly might take it going in 7. But I'm going to flip the narrative this time around. Last time the series went to 7 games, and what a game 7 it was, if you remember that. And the Timberwolves pulled it off. I just don't trust the Timberwolves this season, man. The metrics, there's this guy on TikTok that has used this system to predict the NBA champion every single year. And since 2023, since the year the Nuggets won the championship, he's got it right every single time. And this year, that system does have the Timberwolves winning the championship. And I just don't see that. I don't see them beating Denver in this series. I'm going to go Denver in 7 to win this. And then I'm not even going to talk about this. No, nobody on that team, on that Trailblazers team, can guard Wemby. I'm very confident that the Charlotte Hornets are going to win tomorrow against the Orlando Magic. And I'm very confident they could steal a game or two against the Pistons, but the Pistons are just so good. I'm going to go with the Pistons in 5. They play so hard, and I think it's going to be tough for the Hornets to match up against, that defense of the Pistons. Cavs and Raptors, I don't see this series going very long. I'm going to go Cavs in 5 just because of that backcourt. And the biggest thing with Cleveland, if I'm a Cavs fan, my concern is what James Harden are we going to get? Are we going to get the James Harden we're used to seeing in the playoffs? The one that chokes? Or is he going to do his thing? Now, the good thing about this James Harden with this Cavs team is that he doesn't have to be relied on to do the heavy lifting on offense. Donovan Mitchell's there for that. And Donovan Mitchell is such a playoff riser. He always plays well in the playoffs. You think back to the past couple of years with the Cavs, he's been like the one bright spot in all the failures they've had in the playoffs. And you think back to his days with Utah, especially the bubble. Oh, my God. If you remember him and Jamal Murray going band for band that series, oh, my goodness. That was such a good series. I need to go back and watch some of those games, especially that game where they both went for 50. It was insane. But that's besides the point. James Harden doesn't have to do the heavy lifting. He can be more relied on for his playmaking, and he's very reliable in that department in the playoffs. He's just going to need to take care of the basketball. Jared Allen, the lights are too bright. That can't happen. And Mobley just needs to do his thing on both ends of the floor. And I think Cleveland, their ceiling is making it to the finals. I do believe that. I really do. But this Raptors team, I don't like them on a deep playoff run. And I know Knicks fans wish that was the team they were playing instead of the Hawks, because the Hawks are a threat. 11% of people are picking the Hawks. That's low. That's low for me, man. I'm going to move on to this series now. This series is going to be so much fun. Outside of Minnesota versus Denver, this is the series that I am the most excited for. The Hawks are young in a new era of their franchise with Jalen Johnson and Nickeil leading the charge. They've got Dyson Daniels doing his thing defensively. They've got Onyeka Okongwu. CJ McCollum is still doing his thing on a very solid playoff team. And if you asked me this a couple days ago, I would probably say I think the Hawks are going to win this series. But the Knicks, we've watched them have success in these early playoff series for the past couple years. And I just think Jalen Brunson isn't going to get eliminated in round 1. Like, playoff Brunson over the years has been so much fun to watch. Along with this whole Knicks team, as inconsistent as they've been in the regular season, they're a threat. But this Hawks team, oh man, I hate to see the Hawks go. I think this series could go 7. Game 7 in the Garden. I like the Knicks winning. And then this is going to be a sweep. I don't need to talk about that. Let's go back up to the top. The Thunder versus the Lakers. I assume if the Lakers were to win that series in 6 against Houston, they would be fully healthy by now to play OKC. And I still don't really think that matters too much. I think the Lakers could steal a game. But I anticipate one of those games to be LeBron's final game in a Laker uniform. Go have his farewell tour back home in Cleveland, hopefully. Maybe somewhere else. That'd be weird. But, the Thunder are the Thunder. The advanced stats are ridiculous. Shea's consistency is ridiculous. And just the whole team, their teamwork and their chemistry is unmatched. So I like them over the Lakers in round 2. Now this series, whoo-wee! This is going to be fun. Nuggets and Spurs. These teams have had really good games throughout the season. I do want to go check the game log between these two teams. All right, so take a look at the game log this season. They've played 4 times this season, and the Nuggets have won 3 out of those 4 games. Granted, I want to know how many Wemby didn't play in. So, he didn't play in this one, and the Nuggets only won by 5. Or did I look at this one yet? Okay, he played in this one. I clicked the wrong game. So, Denver's had the Spurs number, and I want to check this last game too, the one the Spurs won. Did Jokic play? Okay, and the Wemby didn't play. Wemby didn't play in a lot of these games. So now Victor's on the court. Knock on wood, doesn't get injured. This is tough because the Spurs, very much like the Thunder, their teamwork is just so impressive. The way they play together, they play off of each other so well. The defense between Victor and Castle, the switching that they do, Dylan Harper doing his thing off the bench, and Fox bringing that veteran leadership. It's so much fun. And with the Nuggets' defensive struggles, I don't see them stopping Wemby or anybody else on that team. I think it could go 7. It's going to be competitive, but I am going to go with the Spurs to win that series. Pistons Cavs. This series is going to be good. It's going to be hard-nosed. It's going to be a lot of fun. But the Pistons, other than Cade, who's going to close out these games for them? They really don't have any shooters. They have Duncan Robinson. They have Tobias Harris. But, we've watched Tobias Harris in the past just lay an egg with the Sixers in important playoff games. And the Cavs, again, we've watched James Harden lay an absolute egg. But again, that load isn't on his shoulders now. He can kind of lean on Donovan Mitchell a lot more. I like Cleveland in this series. I like Cleveland in 6. Knicks versus Celtics, I'm very confident in the Celtics this playoff run. Now they've got Tatum. Tatum's not going to get injured, hopefully, again, knock on wood. And the Celtics are just, the way that they're playing and the way that they're being coached by Joe Mazzulla, it's mind-blowingly good. This wasn't supposed to happen. Them being the 2 seed and being the favorite in the East wasn't supposed to happen this season. I'm going to go Celtics in 6 in that series. Thunder versus Spurs. The Spurs have had the Thunder's number this season. I do want to check out that game log. Okay. So this season, they played a lot of games this season. The Thunder won 1 game against the Spurs out of 5. Now, take a look at those games. The Thunder have dealt with injuries, so Shea and J-Dub and Chet all didn't play in this game. Okay. They had everybody in this one. iHeart didn't play. Lou Dort didn't play. Let's see. This was on Christmas. I know everybody played in this one. Oh, Wemby came off the bench this game. Oh, this must have been right when he came back from injury. Okay, yeah, I remember this game. And the Thunder had everybody. I think they had everybody for the rest of those games too, this season. So, what? This is tough because the Thunder, just on both ends of the floor, so consistent. The teamwork is unmatched. Defensively, unbelievable. Chet and Wemby, this series is just going to be so good because it's going to be chippy. I feel like it's going to be competitive. Every game's going to be close. But I'm just going off of what I watched this season. And from what I've watched this season, the Thunder can't beat the Spurs. Give me Spurs in 6. Going to the NBA Finals, I would not have thought in a million years that I would have the Spurs in the NBA Finals. But here we are, man. Wemby's just been playing lights out basketball, both ends of the floor. And I don't think anybody can stop it on OKC. And that leaves the Eastern Conference Finals. I like to think of Thanos in this situation because well, not all of us, but a good bit of us thought this was going to be our Eastern Conference Finals last season. So you can dread it, you can run from it, but destiny still arrives all the same. And that destiny is the Boston Celtics sweeping the Cleveland Cavaliers. So that leaves the NBA Finals. My NBA Finals is the Spurs versus the Celtics. This series would be really, really good. Now, the Spurs. We talked about them at length, but I kind of just had the Celtics blow through the East, so I want to talk about them. Jaylen Brown this season, unbelievable, right? MVP caliber season from him. Jason Tatum has come back, and at this point in June, his legs are going to be completely back under him. He's going to be fresh again. You know, I mean, he's looked great, don't get me wrong, but it's not the Jason Tatum we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing Jason Tatum be the guy, and he's taking a back seat, which is great and everything, but if the Celtics want to win in the playoffs, Tatum's going to have to take over. It can't just be the Jaylen Brown show, especially against the Spurs. Because with the Spurs, like, you can play the best defense you can, but I don't think you could shut down Wemby. You can't. No, not I don't think. You just can't. And teams have tried and have succeeded, kind of, but you can't stop that dude. So against the Spurs, the best defense is going to have to be twice the offense. And now Derek White on Wemby would be a fun matchup because Derek White is just going to be a pest. He's going to just get low and just try to take the ball out of Victor's hands. But you don't have anybody on any team that could just take Wemby out the game straight up. The closest thing you have to that would be Chet. But I just don't think Chet is quick enough to do that. So the Celtics offensively, if you want to go with that saying or that mantra of the best defense is going to have to be double the offense, the Celtics can do that with between Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, shooters like Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard bringing that energy. Derek White is going to, De'Aaron Fox is going to have his hands full when being guarded by Derek White. It's going to be a tough matchup for the Spurs, I think. And I don't think the Spurs are ready to lift the trophy just yet. And I think of the past not 5 years, but the past 4 years. The year that Denver won the title, I picked the Celtics to win it all. The year that the Celtics actually won it all, I picked them to win it all. Last year, I picked them to go back-to-back. So for the fourth year in a row, and I've realized recently that I'm like low-key a Celtics fan. So I'm doing it. For the fourth year in a row, I'm going with the Celtics winning the championship. Over the Spurs, I want another Game 7, and I wanted a Game 7 that doesn't start with heartbreak. So selfishly, I want a Game 7. We're going Celtics over the Spurs in 7 games in the NBA Finals. The Celtics, I know I told y'all to ignore the hat a couple videos ago, but, dude, I can't ignore what they've done this season. And I just think Joe Mazzulla, he's already done it before, and he's going to do it again. I think he'll outcoach Mitch Johnson. Now, if Greg Popovich was still the coach of the Spurs, it'd be a different story, right? Or like prime Popovich, not like, if you've seen Greg Popovich recently, I hope he's doing okay. But, with all the health issues he's had. But if we're talking like prime, like 2000s Popovich, it's a different story. Like the Spurs would probably dominate. But Mitch Johnson's still a new coach. And Joe Mazzulla's done this. He's done this dance already. And Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, pretty much this whole team has done this dance already. They did rework the roster, but that tradition and that play style, that system is still intact. So I find it hard to find a team other than OKC that can beat the Celtics in this playoffs. The only way that the Celtics probably don't win the finals is if the Thunder beat San Antonio. And I just can't pick the Thunder to do that based off of what I watched this season. So I'm going to go with the Celtics. I'm not going to do this tiebreaker stuff. I'll do it off camera because that really doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is y'all know who I'm picking to win the NBA Finals. And my pick to win it all is going to be the Boston Celtics.